And so I posted a story sequence about this because a lot of people were saying follower ads don't work. And so I literally decided to prove some of you wrong. So these are people that have followed me from my ads, and this guy paid within 2 days. This guy, he paid within 5 days. You can see all the names are matching. And this guy, he paid within 3 days. And we're also getting people that have literally followed me from my ad 4 months ago, and they paid last week. I had a guy who followed me 4 months ago, or like in December, like 5-6 months ago even, and then he paid me last week. And so it just shows the power of these fucking ads. Now, here's some of the leads that we're getting from them. Suway started following you from your ad. He's up 150k a month. Getting people at 100k a month, 7-figure, 100k a month. Like if you look at all the leads, you can see that all the names of these match, and even more people. Fine, like we're getting people like God made Isaac, so on. We're getting all these leads from our ads that are doing 100k a month, 50k a month, that are our ICPs that know they need help with ads. And when I say that, they don't just follow because my ads are cool, my profile looks good. They follow me because they have an immediate problem that they need to solve. For example, this guy pitched me on your service because I saw your testimonial ad. This guy, I have 3 questions, literally asked me what my offer price is, and they're all pre-sold, and they all want to buy because they have the problem and they know I can solve it because they've seen my ads. I literally dropped out of school because of these ads. Not just because of these ads, obviously I know that I'm a genius and I'm going to be successful. But when I saw the performance of these ads, I know it was the right decision because I'm going to get to 100, 200, 500k a month while in high school because I know how to run ads. What are these ads? So these ads are basically ads that we're running to Instagram profile visits. So we use our framework to trigger psychological decisions to click, which results in either Instagram followers or inbound DMs. The idea behind it, like compared to webinars, forums, VSLs, we're having a low ask, which means we can get a low cost and we can do high volume. This means 2 things, right? Like if we're competing against, for example, Charlie Morgan, who spends thousands of dollars per day on ads and has some insane client results and personal results that he can leverage, we will get fucked. We will lose because he has all those things to leverage and can spend more money on ads. So we're not going to play into their game. We're not going to put into a funnel where we need to be the number one to make your perk. We're going to use this funnel because it allows us to make up for the low ask by using personal touch, by having a setter to upgrade you first in the DMs. And it has short and long-term gain. So like I said, this one guy followed me from my ad in December and bought last week because he's been watching my content and watching my YouTube throughout that period. Here's how to make CRA ads. So it's a process that consists of a few steps, like basically 7 steps to be exact. First of all, market research, creating a swipe file, creating a plan for your campaign, like everything needs to be calculated, scripting them, producing them, launching them, and scaling them. And I'll show you exactly how to do each part. So the first part is market research. Now you need to do market research. There are a few ways you can do it. The most important one is customer research. Realizing their desires and emotions, and you can use post-purchase service as well for this, and figuring out what your ideal customer profile is, basically. And I'll show you step by step how to do this and what questions to ask. Then you have creative research, so angles that you can use, organic trends, formats that are working. And then you have competitor research, so you can look at their sites, their offers, their ads libraries, their videos, their messaging, and you can copy it and take inspiration from it. When you do this market research, you create a swipe file with it. So what we did instead of doing a post-purchase service is we took all of our sales calls, over 300 sales calls that I've personally done recently, and I put them all into AI using this GPT prompt. I can send it to you if you want, but it's basically the GPT prompt that we've made based on all of our winning ads. We've seen everything that's needed in a winning ad. So if you want to, just like DM me on Instagram and I'll send it to you. We uploaded all of our Fathom calls into one ChatGPT, and it found the biggest problems, pain points, agitations, and desired outcomes that coaches wanted. With these swipe files, we now all we have the tools and the resources to start beginning to work on ads. Then the next step is calculating the total daily budget. So let's say you spend $50 a day. Like if you have some balls, like you should be spending like $100, $200 at least. However, let's say you spend $50 per day. You would then spend 80% on top of funnel and 20% on retargeting. The top of funnel, basically the idea behind the top of funnel is that the top of funnel has a frequency of 1 to 2. So I'll actually just draw this out. So 1 to 2 frequency, which means that people see them 1 to 2 times each. Here on the retargeting level, we go for a frequency of 4 to 7, which means that people see them 4 to 7 times on average. This creates like a completely different structure in what it should be. So let's say with this, you have 2 top of funnel ads. These are all dedicated around speaking to pain points and problems to create urgency, right? Urgency, basically. I can't fucking draw on my MacBook either way. Urgency to basically get them to take the action, right? On the retargeting ad level, it doesn't really matter too much. And what I mean by that, the urgency doesn't matter too much, is because they come from the people that have already visited or engaged with the profile. So they already have like a level of urgency or interest. They just need more trust to take the action. So these are all built around trust. And so that's why in the retargeting level, we run testimonial ads. So having a lot of testimonial ads running so that people will constantly see your testimonials, constantly have them in their face, they'll basically be forced to trust you. And when this happens over a long enough time, think people seeing your testimonials every single day or multiple times a week for months on months on months on months on end, sooner or later, they're going to be pushed into a buying decision because their perception of you changes bit by bit by bit. You don't need to hard close people when you have the retargeting ads running because it changes their perception of you. Now, that's why we run the retargeting ads, we run testimonial ads, and they're built around trust. And you also have retargeting ads that are built around giving them that last little push and intent. But they're mainly built around trust, and these are mainly built around urgency. I'll show you examples of both. Now that you know what to create, let's make it happen. So I'm going to teach you the actual structure of how we like to do it. So first of all, we start with the hook, obviously, in the ad. There are 2 ways we can create the hooks. So the first one is what we call the TikTok method. So we go to TikTok and we search either like in your industry or biggest competitors. We'll look at the viral videos and analyze their hooks. So there's like a Google extension that's called sort for TikTok that you can basically use to sort them with the most viral ones. You need to find applicable hooks. Like if they don't speak to your ideal audience, then they won't work. However, it helps to have a viral hook because the lower your CPM is, the more money the ad will make. If you can calculate everything back to the CPM, like the lower the CPM is, the more money you'll make. So, an example of our client Diego, we have the hook. If you're 18, 19, 20, or 25, I don't even care how many years old you watch this video, or at least follow me for the day you need to hear it. And we took that and put it into his ad, and this guy used it on a video that got 3.2 million views. So we just tweaked the hook a little bit and put it into his ad because we know that we were going to get a low CPM. Then you have the ads library method. So from your swipe file, you'll look at your biggest competitors and go to their ads library and search each one. Go to their oldest running ads. And if it's between 1 to 3 months plus old, it's usually a winner, right? Because that's the only reason they're still running it. Then you can feel free to take as much inspiration as you'd like from winners because it's literally a cheat code. You analyze the hook, both what is said, what's on screen, what is being visually done, and you tweak it to your ads accordingly. So that's how you figure out the hook. Now, moving on to problems and agitations. So first of all, confirmation bias. Confirm that they aren't lazy or stupid. Either state what they've tried or where they're at. You don't want to say, you don't know how to do X. So for example, what I mean by that, it's like, I would say like, you probably have a great product and you know how to sell it. However, you just don't have enough clients coming to you. We're speaking to their problems and we're saying that they aren't lazy, stupid. We're saying that they're doing a lot of the right things, but they just like don't know a certain thing. And so you play it to their own beliefs in their head, because then they're more likely to watch it. Then problems, you list the most painful pain points in the swipe file. And then the strongest, most relevant agitation from the swipe file afterwards to agitate them. So an example of that is with Julie's ad, which I'll show you. We say like, you probably go to bed knowing that you're meant for more and you're not satisfied with where you're at. And it's a very powerful agitation. Yeah, here's where it's at. You're a young guy sitting at home, and let's be honest, you know what you want, but you're not doing anything to get there. And even though you've tried everything, you still doom scroll, you still watch porn, you're nervous around women. And maybe you can't stick to something for more than a week, making you worried that you'll be trapped in the cycle for years and never live up to your potential. And so we're really, really going into their problems, but also what deeply agitates their mind, like their deepest fears. However, this one, you're probably running ads, posting content, and booking calls. Like, you're doing all these things right. But when it comes to sales, you avoid asking the hard questions, you freeze up at objections, and you lose so many leads that you could have closed, making it feel like you're wasting all this time and money booking calls that don't end up closing. You're earning 6 figures, but you're working this for sales coach, and then like this one, for still one above, so others delegate and get their freedom. You're earning 7 figures, but you're working long hours, stuck in the same routine, and feeling drained with no time left to actually enjoy your life. And maybe you're scared that you'll be trapped in this loop for the rest of your life. And so these are examples of problems and agitations. Then after you've done problems and agitations, we then give them a mid-roll CTA before we go into client results, because we've built up some fucking urgency of like, this is me. So now we want to hit them with the call to action. So if that sounds like you, then go to my profile and drop me a follow. We'll show you how unique mechanism has helped ex-ICP just like you get benefit, allowing them to desired outcome. An example of this is like, say if that sounds like you, then go to my profile and drop me a follow, where I'll show you how I went from being overworked in a corporate job, stuck in the same exact cycle as you, to making 100K to making $1 million profit within my first 11 months with Amazon FBA, whilst traveling full-time with my family and living life on my own terms. So that's the structure of it, basically. Then you go into client results, because they have the urgency. They're considering whether they should take the action or not. Now we want to build some more trust, right? We want to build some trust so they feel like safe making the decision. Because there's only 2 reasons that people do a call to action. They feel like doing it, and they don't have any more questions. Or like they don't have any concerns. They feel like doing it and they don't have any concerns. We need to make them feel like doing it, and we do that by building urgency and then building trust. Like, name who went from viewer's current situation to viewer's desired situation without remove excuse. Name who went from viewer's current situation to viewer's desired situation with benefits. Name who went from viewer's current situation to viewer's desired situation with benefits. Like Marcus, who lost 27 kilos in 50 weeks while working a part-time job and studying, or Carl Emil, who wanted to move in the summer but didn't think it was possible, and now 21 weeks later he's in the shape of his dreams. Like, basically just proving to them there are other people that have done it that are in your situation. Then we did the final call to action. Now, here, this is the biggest part. You want to make the call to action play into their behaviors, right? And like play into like, you do it in their own benefit and you do it in their own identity. So if you're tired of biggest pain points and you actually want, and so they want to be someone who actually wants to do it. They want to be someone who's serious. So you give them that identity and you actually want desired outcome. Then go to my profile and drop me a follow, where I'll show you, and then you list the benefits again. So if you're tired of waking up drained just to build someone else's dream and actually want to create a business that gives you time, location, and financial freedom, then go to my profile, drop me a follow, and I'll show you exactly how to launch your first Amazon FBA product, listing the benefits basically for 100% free. So that is the format of our usual ads. Now, I'll show you these are the top of funnel ads, and I'll show you what they look like in the retargeting level as well, where we just focus on trust. This is the example of a now I'm literally just going to show you the example of a winning top of funnel ad for a client. So this ad, it right here, $2,600 cash collected and new close from ads, 3.5 CRA, around $500 in ad spend, $6,000 cash collected. So he's at like a 12x ROAS with $500 on ads. And yeah, like he got the first close from the ads a little bit before that, which was a $3,500 PIF. So he's been at 12x ROAS consistently on his first time running ads. We didn't have any previous winning ads to look at. First time running ads, but because we did market research and we structured the ad this way that we know works, we get fucking fire results, and we took him from 4K to 20K a month with ads. So how much he's going to play the ad, and I'll tell you the psychology behind it so that you can actually understand it, because I actually want you to win. Like, no one else shows you the ads, but I actually want you to win. And so yeah, subscribe to my YouTube.
Setting is the easiest and fastest way to 5K a month. At least that's what everybody tells you, but nobody tells you how to actually do it.
So that's a really good hook. We did a lot of market research to find that one, because it really resonates. It's like appointment setting. He hypes up appointment setting, but then he also plays into the fact that it's also hard, and the hook's just really like, it really grabs their attention. This is where he does the agitation. So you'll see how he literally calls out exactly who they are, what situation they're in, their deepest like fears and frustrations, and they're then also at the end like what actions they've taken up until this point.
Hopefully a young and ambitious guy stuck in a school on 9 to 5, but when you lay in bed at night, you're still not satisfied with your eyes.
That's like a deep fear, but they have, and he also called out who they were, and then right now he goes into the action step.
See all this content about appointment setting. Maybe he's done some cold outreach or joined some communities, but still nothing has worked. You don't really know what excited you, and maybe even doubting whether it's possible or not to make money with appointment setting. So if this sounds like you, then drop me a follow here on Instagram.
And then he says, yeah, drop me a follow on Instagram. This is obviously the mid-roll call to action.
Exactly how you can go from 0 to 5K a month with appointment setting, following the exact steps that I've given to over 30 other young guys, just like you, getting them a
And then, yeah, again, now he builds that trust to push them.
5K a month setting role in less than 2 weeks. Like Julian, who went from 0 to $6,000 a month with appointment setting. He's now traveling the world freely, currently visiting Thailand, where he's also training Muay Thai. Or Martin, who was stuck in university. He literally thought appointment setting was a scam, and now he's doing over $3,000 a month. After his first 30 days, he's on track to do $6,000 the next month.
Exactly. So it's literally then like the exact same structure.
Because he's getting promoted to be a setter manager. Or Louis, who went from 0 to $7,000 a month with appointment setting. Now going from Morocco to Spain to Bulgaria.
And then showing the client results on how they were in your position, and they're now in a better position.
Basically wherever he chooses. If you're sick and tired of not knowing what to do, and you feel like you're getting left behind, and you actually want to gain this freedom like these boys I just mentioned, escape school, escape that job, and finally leave your hometown, then go to my page, drop me a follow, and I'll show you exactly how to become a world-class setter, land a 5K month role in less than 2 weeks, and keep it. For exactly $0. Why? Because it's on my page for free. Appointment setting.
So it's using the exact same formula that I mentioned. The reason it works so well is because we did the proper market research, and it speaks deeply to them. Like, it speaks to them so deeply. Cool. I'll run you through an ad on the retargeting level then, because now you know what a top of funnel looks like, who attracts the right leads, and who gets them to build up pain, urgency, and a feeling of like, that's me. I need this. Now I'll show you what we do on the middle of funnel to bring the people who visit the profile, engage with the profile, over the line. And even so, and it even targets followers as well to make them more likely to buy. Here we go. So it starts with the hooks that's attention grabbing. So I feel like I need to film this video to thank Sigurd for literally saving my business. While we're doing this, we show pictures of his lifestyle, him and us together, and his Instagram to basically build like a form of, we want to build him up basically. And so I can show you the ad so you can see the editing as well with it and the entire psychology behind it. So
all right, so I feel like I need to film this video to thank Sigurd for literally saving my business.
So we play into the authority, the 1.4 million, the followers. He's verified on Instagram and his lifestyle.
After, just trying these IG followers, as his IG growth, as everyone is preaching. And I spent literally, I think, a bit over $11,000 in 6 months of my time.
This shows where he was before. And even if people haven't wasted this much on ads, they'll still feel like, oh, fuck, if I don't know what I'm doing, I will waste this money on ads. So we build up like a current situation or like a really bad situation in their head.
Trying new ad again and again and again with my whole team, wasting 6 months plus of our time, and was so frustrating that I almost decided to actually quit until I eventually tried these dry ads, even though I was super skeptical. And I'm not joking with you, I literally went from 24K
and we show proof of everything, and we show the transformation. And when we do that
in December to 72K in January, these dry ads out.
When we show that transformation, and we show how he's went from X to like point A to point B, basically, other people will be like, okay, these guys know what they're doing. And it's so much more powerful because we're not the ones saying that we're doing it. It's another person that they might also know that's saying that we did it for fun. So on the middle of funnel, it makes them so much more warmer, so much more likely to buy, and it increases our authority and their perception of us.
Anything I ever tried in the past. And I'm finally like feel myself getting out.
We literally showed another this hit. He says that he can finally feel himself getting out of this organic hamster wheel, which is like a pain point that we've done based on our market research that a lot of coaches struggle with.
Organic hamster wheel grind that I've been stuck in for the past like 6 months. So Sam would say here, reach out to him, whatever, if you have a problem getting actual qualified leads that come to you. And so you don't need to chase that.
So we literally, and we also show, and then he ties the call to action to the desired outcome of getting qualified leads, so you don't have to chase them. We also show him fully.
It was just honestly a great experience, and I couldn't recommend him enough. Thanks, Iggy. Peace.
So that's
all right. I'll be looking at it. So
I've seen a successful ad on the top of funnel and a successful ad on the middle of funnel. So let's run through how you can actually do this entire process, the actual ad production, now that you know what scripting them looks like. And this is the ad creation checklist, by the way. I can send this to you if you message me. Like if you message me resources, I'll send you all the resources in the video. Just DM me on IG. So yeah, so here's how it goes. So this
All right, I'm back. So where I left off is I was basically running you through my ad creation process. Now, here's the idea behind it is that whenever we add new ads, we test them for 2 weeks. We can analyze and optimize. Based on that, we can create two weeks of creating new ads, and I'll show you that entire 2 weeks process. And we then again optimize and create new ads, right? So this way, we can constantly have ads running. We can constantly be scaling ads because based on what happens here, we'll either kill the ads or we'll keep them running and we'll add more ads. And we're constantly scaling and adding more ads and making more money, right? So I'll run you through it, right? So basically, day 1 to 5 ad creation is where we'll do the market research. We'll build our campaign structure where we have at least 3 ad sets, at least 3 hooks. I'll go a little bit more in depth on it, but we'll set up the ads, script the creatives, and plan the recording using our ad recording brief. And we'll also, obviously plan the editing, make a storyboard plus Loom explanation with examples so the editors can have full clarity on editing the ads. And then we will send a Notion page to Liam along with the Loom breakdown of the gist of campaign. And then we'll provide the editor with a storyboard plus Loom explanation with examples so the editor can have full clarity on editing the ads. I'll show you what this looks like. So here is an example of what an ad storyboard looks like. We give them examples of absolutely everything, right? So if I zoom in here for a second, so loading in. If I zoom frame by frame, we're literally giving them what they should put on each frame, what they should put, clips of which people they should put, the screenshots of everything, and we're giving them everything they need and all the info they need to literally make the ad. So we're giving them a storyboard so they literally can't fail in editing. And so that is the first part of the creation process, is actually planning it, and that's what we do in day 1 to 5. Then day 5 to 7, I'll then just follow the steps in our ad recording brief and record it and ensure that we're following our brand messaging. So we've built really, really clear messaging for our brands. Then we'll basically do editing and revisions for the last 7 days. And that is our 2-week ad creation process, where the last day we'll review and launch the ads, right? So this is where we'll launch the new ads and we'll review the ads that have already been running for the last 2 weeks. And so we'll review the performance of the existing ads in accordance to our minimum ad KPI benchmark. And we'll make a decision to either kill, run, or vertically / horizontally scale the ads. And we'll include dates to do this, basically. We'll also launch new ad credits on this call. So after this call, we'll just leave it until the next call review. We should be spending whatever dollar per day, which is a comfortable amount to leave the ads running without fear, right? So if you're constantly needing to look at your ads, then you're spending too much money. There needs to be no fear. Like, you need to be comfortable running the ads. So we kill an ad when the lead quality is below 10% qualified rate and when the cost per follow is above $5. We maintain it when the cost per follow is around $5 and lead quality is around 10%, and we scale it when the cost per follow is less than $5 and lead quality is above 10%. When a winner is identified, we keep it running and we set a specific monthly budget for the winner. So we either vertically scale the budget by 20% weekly, or we create 2 extra horizontal variations to launch so we don't risk the original winner, right? So a winner, $1 to $5 cost per follow, 10% plus qualified rate, 100 to 500 per call, and we are aiming for less than a $1,500 cost per acquisition based on our ticket price, right? So here's the actual process of launching the ads that we also do on this call. So we'll launch the ads. So this will be like the testing phase, where we'll do it in Facebook Ads Manager. We'll do a CBO campaign, which means campaign budget optimization at $50 per day usually for the testing. And then we'll do 1 advantage post targeting and 1 manual targeting with the same ads in each ad level and wait 3 days. So we'll find winners, which ad set had the most spend and which ads had the most spend. So we'll launch the 1 to 3 winners organically on Instagram, leave for 24 hours, and actually boost them with the winning targeting. So we'll send a spend that we're comfortable with, but not too low, because you can't actually edit the spend when you do it on Instagram, and you'll only have to horizontally scale. So yeah, we usually turn off the Facebook test ad unless it's getting really good results. So that's basically how it works, and this is how we analyze it on whether we should kill or maintain the ad, like I said, depending on lead quality, depending on the cost per follow.
Then the last part of it is how we actually scale the ads. So there are two ways to scale ads. You can do it horizontally, like I mentioned, where you launch the ad again with optimizations. You can either re-edit it, film new hooks, remake the ad with better script, hook, visuals, and edit, or you can literally just fucking repost the same video and boost it with the same targeting and with like higher spend, right? However, you can also vertically scale it. It's risky, but it's actually like it's good as well. It's where you scale the budget by 20%, and you do this like you can do this every 3 days, you can do this every week. Kind of depends on how aggressive you want to go, but I would do at least like a minimum 3-day waiting time before you increase it. The thing is, Meta has something called the snow globe effect. Often when you change like a setting, it can mess up the whole campaign because it's like a snow globe, and when you shake it, the snow goes everywhere, and it takes a very long time for it to settle. And that's why we prefer horizontal scaling, because it's way safer. Because even if you're just like literally editing the text, adding a comma, you're risking that the whole campaign might flop. It sounds a little bit exaggerated, but it's actually true. But this is our entire process on how to basically do market research. And this is our entire process on how to basically do market research, build a swipe file, build a campaign plan, script, produce, launch, and scale ads so that you can scale your business to 100, 200K a month. If you want all the resources, swipe files, examples, and that I sent over, just DM me on Instagram with resources, and I'll literally send it all over to you so you can use it and implement it for yourself. And then, yeah, hope it was useful. Go crush it.